Hanging from the cross as you whip him, behold his talent for crucifixion. These nails unspeakable as Christ, betrayed by these heroes of the night, as the taser zaps me. Can I be paid to rap, please? No. Can I paint you this tragedy? Yes, as glowing as the brilliant chandeliers, smoking in a frilly black brazier, this philosopher of human passions, lost in her secluded mansion, high as my marijuana IQ, blithely shooting heroin by the pool. This jester a prophet and wizard, wetter than droplets in the river, a swirl as the Milky Way galaxy, perfectly woven into your tapestry, sprawling as the panorama view, yawning as those cavernous truths, spawning these bastards of Zeus, imploring you to rap like a god, performing human sacrifices on his yacht. Tasty and evil as the cheesecake, naked in the dream you believe fake, naked and free as the DJ, selling these CDs on eBay. His devilish speech could freeze a great lake, horns jutting from the poet satanic. This homemade bannock, rhyming as the cocaine addict, in white garb his cocaine habit, like his art one cold wave crashes, and another, one cold wave crashes, one cold wave crashes, and another, one cold wave crashes, one cold wave crashes, and another, and another, one cold wave crashes, and another, one cold wave crashes, and another, and another. Bending time to end as a beginner, sending rhymes into an editor's scissors. Everything I do for literature. Everything you do for Hitler. Attacking decorum with a poisoned blade. These forms I avoid as the plague and cliché, writing so unlike the centaur, galloping under the sun, that metaphor, constant as that ancient evergreen joy. Ever since I changed my name from Leroy, so consistent, this serious play we call poetry. Barbaric as Rome and Greece, I refuse their English talking good, like a futuristic Robin Hood, in black with a purple codpiece. This mad multiversal odyssey, this sorcerer opening the volume, this fan in his Spider-Man costume, for his naked exposure a pariah, this poetry issuing from the vagina. Bending time to end as a beginner, sending rhymes into an editor's scissors. Everything I do for literature. Everything you do for Hitler. Speaking truth to God himself, these priests who rot in hell, and the nuns with U2 in their Walkmans, running from this truth in nonsense, bold as the cat who won't eat mice, stoned in the shadow of Jesus Christ, the darkness of holy cathedrals, as starfish live slowly their peaceful seafloor rhyming, conforming to the shape of parallelism, conforming to the space we're aware within. As Oryx and Crake, it's scary to think we're approaching those days. We'll be there in a blink of an eye, memorized before the ink dries. This weird rap I microphone to the real heads, jeering at my queer friends. This hip-hop I spit off the top of my head, my wit box, this skull connoting death. Bending time to end as a beginner, sending rhymes into an editor's scissors. Everything I do for literature. Everything you do for Hitler. Yeah. Hey, what's your favorite beer? Mine's Bud Light. Coors? I guess it's time to fucking fight. Gather round as I spark the weed, rather proud of my artistry. A random song God imparted to me, cataloging all the garbage I see. Drunk on East Hastings, drifting along the street, the tongues of these flames licking on the trees. A young Henry James tripping on LSD. Above critics' claims this shouldn't be, this unspeakable war-torn cityscape. Breathing smoke in the idiot's face, reading Conrad, H.D. and Yeats. Communing with the scholars, but I hate this weird place. I fucking hate this weird place. The wall's beauty climbs when evil tries to call these groovy rhymes I speak tonight. These fiery jaws use spirits leap inside the final cause of little green Christs. Jesus Christ, it's fire inside and warm enough. They're jealous of my divine orchestra. The cellist who tried to hide the torn glove. These scholars who magnify the corners of this ancient poet's skill with no internet. I taste the soap till a soap sliver's left, as chasing gold where the cold river led. We're made of foam as the cold pilsner's head. Red as the planet they terraform, arrested for rapping on marijuana, while black on acid, smoking grass with my rabbit, joking as I rap on the track with such poetry random but gravid. Red as the planet they'll never reach, head full of magic they'll never speak. I haven't left my home studio in 7 weeks, and I never sleep. My psychiatrist just sends me beats. The to and fro, conflicting wind and rain, inscrutable as his whispered refrain. The to and fro, conflicting wind and rain, inscrutable as his whispered refrain. Oh no, controversy steps into the gallery. No song is worthy of such inhumanity. This critic livid as his disc spinning rapidly, spinning in his grave an original apple tree, dropping its apples on me, drawing a shadow from the tree. After such knowledge, what forgiveness? Rappers love talking about their dicks and testicles as fruit in the bowl. Those venerable pupils, still lives projected in grief and regret, lit, tried and rejected. He appeals to Reddit, condemned in their hearing and taste, as clearing the way, his entourage mirroring his rage, fearing what he'd say, as steering the Mercedes, Jesus drives Satanists through Dubai, his freestyles crazy as you and I. The to and fro conflicting wind and rain, inscrutable as his whispered refrain. The to and fro conflicting wind and rain, inscrutable as his whispered refrain. As the movie stars rolling 50 deep, too stoned even to speak. As empty beer cans rolling in the street, or flowing with the creek, this manuscript, we go where it leads, a simple calculus, stepping outside to smoke a blunt. The smoke curling in the air as the drunk holds swirling in the air his finger, occurring as the careless drinker, drawing in the air these contours, white-splaining racism to the tawny moors, like Canadian racism, strong and pure. The locks secure, locks blonde and secure, these freedom lovers impeding others, spreading false belief as peanut butter, these nuts. The to and fro conflicting wind and rain, inscrutable as his whispered refrain. The to and fro conflicting wind and rain, inscrutable as his whispered refrain. Triplets we spit as the lyricist, smitten with kisses and gibberish, kissing can lit with his thick lips, sticking his dick in the limerick, as the dead father collects his autumn words from the helicopter, step onto the earth and through the lens of the phoropter memorize the curse, as the medical doctor molests another nurse. This Nietzsche serves us his answers, reaching me turning backwards, speaking these words as blackbirds, entreating me to burn this rap verse, glowing as lights in a deep tunnel, hurling from the heart his pretty subtle song awaiting your witty rebuttal, squinting to read what's written in the speech bubble. Infinite Jesus, the infinite reach of love, building a thesis as licorice pizza, spilling the beans as we witness this Jesus, livid the penis, bitten with teeth tough, in the street with his critical theory out. Believe in this wisdom and hear me out, my jargon leaking into the underworld and causing the mutation of turtles. You were saying something about my cadence, urinating on the night's pavement as the ice breaks and you take from me this spice sacred as the papers we light and the flame licks the tasty weed. Amazement drips from the grapes we squeeze, this wine to your grape juice you gulp, as the child who fails to move out, making of home a studio, raising his own three beautiful ghosts. Triplets we spit as the lyricist, smitten with kisses and gibberish, kissing can lit with his thick lips, sticking his dick in the limerick. Difficult as the dick he flashes, my twin passions, weed and avant-garde literature and rap, this system of passages, his invisible manifesto, literature impregnable as the graphomania of the schizophrenic, dig his freestyle impossible on the first try, this monocle for the third eye. Microphone check. What would we be without poems about love? Drinking weed out of a coconut, blissful in evil and ignorance, invisible speech and its influence, quick on his feet in the minuet, still smoking weed, I admit to that, slowly speaking a quick repast, and flowing green as the flickering grass, verbiage to make a minute last, in a decade's condensed thought, so unlike your mental block, Agamemnon, uptight with the pencil stopped, as the red bong smoke rises, you choke rhymeless, as we float in alliance, as the coronavirus, you're just something we lived despite, as tinnitus and little spiders, living their lives on the walls of our minds at rest. Drawing the Greek lovers, evolving as speech structures, falling in green the color, his butterfly stroke as he reaches under the summer to find cold, the evil that underlies hope. My language rules everything around me. I found that to be true ever since 2003. And it's a joy precarious. These poisoned arrow tips, aghast as the fascists who point and stare at his microphone, despair as the chairlift like a poem, dragging your souls through these wintry rhymes, making your old school speech look like a crime, though steeped in the oldest forms, showing the secret jokes he performs, colder than freezing in a snowstorm, his joke where he speaks through the blowhorn. Raining spiders, this infested house, made of rhyming words and Aeschylus quotes, stepping outside of rhyme to let them know he's a real poet, electric pope, incredible as extremely loud terror, ambient, atmospheric, the cloud bearer, this air we breathe till the power failure, falling asleep as you count the layers of solemn meaning, the brown prayer. Sun, 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 sun in the sky, high cunning as the tongue, or the eye, dry ear to the cosmos, hearing all its lies, clear as the nostrils, sneezing out the lies, the COVID-19 of language betraying us, golden bright dreams we paint as the trail of dust, brilliant the universe, its ancient futurity, killing the truth with words we came into fluently, our lover living in the clouds of high intellect, in the sound of my invisible scent, this olfactory versing for noses nodding, so fancy his words formed a whole sonnet, inclined as Frisco streets to drive home into the deep diagonal, alive as the coffin lid he splits, rising as the quantum physics, zombified as he gnaws these images, In your song, ridiculous and brainy, pondering viscous and tasty thoughts he drinks. This maker who raps the way he runs, traipsing through grass away from, erasing invisible man and native sun. Sun in the sky, high, cunning as the tongue, or the eye, dry ear to the cosmos, hearing all its lies, clear as the nostril, sneezing out the lies. The Big Bang is just a point on an infinite plane. It's just a point on a Coltrane waveform. The saxophone infinite, as ancient forms to the crack smoke illiterate. As grapes and oranges, the dad jokes he spits were lit. The way he performs as the black soul imagist. These locusts drunk on God's plan. These frozen plums you want but can't devour as the freestyle addressed to them, found in the beak of my pelican. These aquatic lives that don't matter. These fallen lines of ghostly chatter that zaps ya. These potholes arresting the Taurus. These apostles collecting as the chorus. And they exult as the chosen monk, exhales sculpting the poem with his tongue. The writer rising from the tomb into the sun, throwing another volume into the sun. Sun in the sky, high, cunning as the tongue, or the eye, dry ear to the cosmos, hearing all its lies, clear as the nostrils, sneezing out the lies. Yeah. I'm that robot whose job is to make robots to take your jobs. I'm that robot whose job is to make robots to take your jobs. And if I were legally a person as Sony, I'd supersede all you bionic phonies. If I were legally a person as Sony, up to my raps in quicksand, this underclass they withstand, leading them cheerfully into bread making, leading them cheerfully into enslavement. Anything they want they do so flexible, the Kantian truth in his mental, distracting the poet from eternity, his passion flowing as burning trees. He carelessly ghosts the suave barmaid, riding home to watch Scarface, raging as burning flames in the bedroom, playing his word games with MF Doom. S for Scrabble, his stylus the bones of dead jackals, a quicksilver current of doubt, his wisdom purple and devout, obscure and literary cloudy, kicking the shit out of a Mountie, a Twitter as the bird's virtue. His fictions were perfectly true. We welcome from the internet in under the tent, the schizophrenic 1%, golden as the wealth you exude, the pet you read to and fed food, daring to call the moon solar. Freestyles enjoy as the new Joker, this feline annoyed as you stroke his fur, perfectly poised as the folded shirt, as at the battle you stall with no words, defecating into your father's stolen urn. I freestyle and watch as your Rome burns. Microphone check. I could remind you that the dead don't move, but your mind won't let you know the truth. So we plan a birthday party. Soda cans that burst as AR-15s. Find a musician who knows blue and green to score the jujitsu in your home movies. Swarming within you as the moaning furies. The guilty clinician who won't cure me. As guilty Simpson, he's an old pure G. Within the system, close to you and me. Why so grave? Because the grave enslaved the knave. Why so enslaved? Because they caged the brave knave. The cage is grave, the grave way he bathed. Late, late day, baby. As the infant perplexed before the mirror. Dead wisdom they read more to appear wise, redundant to both form and materialize. Redundant to both form and materialize. Recumbent on the border between two eyes. One eye for ignominy, brown as the non-people. The other eye for idiocy, green as the lawn we mow. These facts translated from the Norwegian by a black man making fun of Norwegians. Those elfin characters born in Sweden. And forsaking rhyme, you know I have to mention Iceland. Forsaking meter too, rapping like a madman. Saying crazy shit like that Black Lives Matter, man. Not just in that it's always wrong to murder people. I know people want the slogan Black Lives Matter just to mean no killing, but that's literally the least people can do, is not kill me. Call me insane, but I want more than not to be killed. I'm a language lover. I'm a language lover. I'm a question uttered by the quail hunter in leather and rubber. My raging hunger develops udders and moos as the sacrifice. Or so I'm told, as you should rap like Snoop and act like Snoop. Is that right? I'm through with that type, eschewing the human. You rap into the mic as Euripides' back eye. Me, I'm more of an Aeschylus in my tragedy. These dresses hanged to dry, depressive his rap style, the message for your palate this wine. A collection of half-rhymes, taxiing minds from thought A to thought B, for black lives are not made to follow thee. Black lives are not made for idolatry. If rap survives, it won't be because of these Drake songs, name-dropping famous products, those rhymes hard to believe and easy to write. No, by the star we steer this skiff in the night, like a car in a field of little lights, as outside the bar these people's fist fight, and the reason behind the violence. These preachers, blinded with scientific rhyme statistics, viral in minutes. Now we're genociding imagists. Here is to Moira, her constellation, an acoustic therapist on her camel, declining anthropos in the middle, this Greek tragedy, falling as the apple upon Eve with the gravity of Ptolemy. The sun around the blue planet running around with two magnets. Pseudoscientific, this Bartholomew, using rhyme to split a particle in twain. This heart crane spitting an African proverb, dancing as if standing on hot words, dancing random as God's turns and jambing the rap's ungodly versification. Abrupt as the Caesura, 8 surahs into the Quran and tasting purer as Schubert and Langston Hughes were, sure as taxes and quakes in Vancouver. Too drunk to see the endless purple sea. These punks who use weed as currency. These punks who smoke weed at Berkeley. Divine as God's id, riding the rocket, mired in the logic of capitalism. Fire in the closet, his raps within. His private knowledge as Aladdin in his cave, succumbing to the sensory, depraved as the plumber on ecstasy. This crack in the pipes of the West, his speech, distracting from Christ and the message he conveys as funk and telekey. Our spiritual purpose, he says, drunk as Hemingway. Our purpose, he says, as the monk, is to meditate on the idea of gold, Pluto's pharmacy, reading scrolls, the illusion of harmony, random speech as the poem with no pants on. Deep in the ocean you swam upon, the killer whale cold as the can of pop. These feet that unfold as the marathon, the poet of urban poverty, depicting his Vancouver honestly with the paintbrush. The mind's motion is a sacred touch. The world impresses on the pages of your mind, unfolding as the grapes we crush. His style and emotion are made of love. These rhymes composed of ancient stuff, starred stuff. But to drag this rap back down to earth, fuck Canada, fuck the crown. My favorite song is Buck 'Em Down by Black Moon. Fuck those Nazis running as pound from black truth. Fuck philosophy's unsound attitude. Yeah. Yeah. Satan is the one true God. Yes. 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 Weed, cigarettes, and the pills. No self-control, no free will. This elephant so irresponsibly, rapping with godlike autonomy. Canada's prominent style of comedy. Nazism is the dominant ideology, and they hang people from the trees as sailors vomit in the sea. So natural his verse versification. This castle you turn from in pain, the trauma of being deposed. The coffin you sleep in as the ghost, like falling asleep in your clothes. The song was a dream of the rose, thorns upon the fingers we prick, so strong as the king of Egypt. This smoking a bong to your drinking from it, turning the water pink as the lips. The current cost of ink as we print, the work of Kant, his ding on Sich. Satan is the one true God. Yes. 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 Second verse similar to the previous. No free will, just pills and weed cigarettes. This elephant so irresponsibly rapping with the whole of his body. Canada's control of life in comedy. Nazism's their dominant ideology as they hang Negro and Jew from the trees. The ego and the you were pulled under the sea. So unnatural this versification. The castle you spurn as purple raiment, the honor you needn't approach. The coffin you sleep in as the ghost, as falling asleep on the stove. The novel you read as the rope hanging the bookworm by the neck, boiling for the cook, serving drac. This pot full of good words for poets. These phenomena your Husserls won't get. Satan is the one true God. Yes. Satan is the one true God. Yes. Satan is the one true God. Yes. Satan is the one true God. Yes.